Thousands of steps, 33 kilometers through the mountains of Italy, a tradition born centuries ago during plague, fear, and uncertainty that people still continue today. On the 16th of May 2026, I joined the Rogazione of Asiago for the very first time. And by the end of this walk, I understood why traditions like this still survive.
Io il mio sono grande, no?
Asiago is a small mountain town in northern Italy, surrounded by forests and alpine landscapes. But today, the atmosphere felt completely different. People were already gathering early in the morning. Church bells echoed through the streets. Families stood outside talking quietly. And honestly, I didn't fully understand what I was about to experience just yet.
What's the time? What's the time?
6 ante-meridian.
5:59. We made it. So yeah.
I don't.
We're all meeting at a meeting point, which is at the church. Come si chiama la chiesa?
Duomo.
Okay.
Sant'Antonio.
Sei sicuro?
The Rogazione is an ancient Catholic procession that has existed for centuries. Communities work together through villages, forests, and fields, praying for protection, for peace, good harvest, and blessing over the land. Traditions like this became especially important during difficult moments in history, including the Great Plague of the 1600s. During times of disease and uncertainty, communities turned toward faith and collective rituals for hope and survival. And centuries later, people here in Asiago still continue the tradition together. The Rogazione of Asiago is not a short symbolic walk. People walk roughly 33 kilometers across the plateau for almost an entire day, literally from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. And after a while, you realize the distance itself is part of the meaning. This tradition was never supposed to be easy. Every kilometer becomes a reminder of endurance, faith, community, and sacrifice. Watching the procession and partaking made me ask myself something. Why is this so important today, especially in a modern world where so many traditions disappear? And I think the answer is connection. Traditions like this connect people to their history, to their identity, and each other. In modern life, people barely know their neighbors anymore. But here, entire generations walk side by side together for hours. Young people, elderly people, families, friends, long-lost connections. The Rogazione reminds people that they belong to something bigger than themselves.
Okay, y'all, so we are here at the first point of rest, and this is Lazzaretto. And over here, we are all seated, having a little bit of rest. Some people are eating, and there will be a sermon that will be held here as well. So this is the first point because this is where most people that were affected with the pest were buried. So this is like the first stop, and then there will be like the sermon, and then we move on to another stop. I mean, we move on walking, and then there will be another stop, and then in the afternoon continue. So basically, this is going to be like a long walk. But yeah, first point and first stop done, and we can keep going.
One thing I loved about the Rogazione was discovering the smaller traditions hidden inside the larger ones. One of them was the tradition of women giving eggs to the men during the event, or better still, the men going around egg hunting. First, it may seem simple, but eggs have always symbolized life, fertility, renewal, and abundance. Especially after historical hardships like plague and famine, symbols of the new life became deeply meaningful.
No, basta perché sennò può portare il marciapeso.
Sì, sì, guarda che bello come che l'hai fatto qua.
Mamma mia. Cioè, sono
Ma anche questo è bellissimo. Guarda.
Ah, questo è bellissimo.
Ho questo piccolino di quaglia.
Sì.
Vabbè.
Faccio che...
Feels really good. Feels amazing. And now we're heading to have lunch. So it would be like an hour and 30 minutes break before we start again. So we're just heading home, have lunch, and then come back again and continue the walk. But it has really been amazing. yeah, I have really enjoyed it. So we were fearing that it was going to rain, but it hasn't rained. The weather has been good. In the morning it was very cool. It started showering, but then it stopped and the weather has been good since. So nice.
Temperatura strana, ragazzi. Ciao, siamo su.
Another tradition was making of crowns from branches, flowers, and leaves. Watching people create them felt almost meditative. The crowns symbolized honor, blessing, celebration, and the deep relationship between the people and the land around them. As someone who loves hiking, mountains, and discovering different cultures, experience like this stay with me deeply, because sometimes we travel looking for excitement, but what we find instead are reminders of what humanity used to feel like. Slower, more connected, more intentional. Watching this tradition made me reflect on how modern day life often disconnects us from history, community, and nature, but traditions like the Rogazione keep those connections alive. After hours of walking together through the mountains, you begin to understand why people still continue this tradition after centuries. Not because it is convenient, but because it gives meaning. The Rogazione is more than religion. It is memory, it is resilience, it is identity. And maybe in today's world, traditions like this matter more than ever. Experiencing the Rogazione of Asiago was more than just attending an event. It felt like stepping into living history, a reminder that even after centuries, some traditions continue because people still believe they matter. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next adventure and experience.
Bicchiere d'acqua, qualcosa molto di più, grazie davvero.